This actual ticket has been decided that I'm going to sing, so here we go. And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Adam Cole and the babies. 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 That was great. The party for life. The party for life. The party.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is having a great week. I'm sorry, just had a dog randomly run in here with a panda bear, not a real one. Hope everybody's having a great week and hope everybody is going to have a great upcoming weekend. This is THS Wrestling Presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and I don't have a funny quip, so I'm just going to say I'm joined by my good friend Neesin. Neesin, how you doing?
I am surviving. I heard that there's a sport called basketball on at some, I don't know. I heard basketball ended when the Lakers lost. I heard it just stopped, So I don't know what else is going on in the world in that thing that they call basketball, but everything is good, man. I've seen Thunderbolts twice, or should I say the new Avengers twice.
Oh, you've seen it twice. I also saw that movie. Yes. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as much on the second time around as well. It was really, really great. I don't suggest getting off a flight after working travel schedule that I had and going to see it because I was fighting for my life.
I should have introduced you as World Traveler.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop. Well, maybe we need to rephrase that. This trial is pretty nuts. If you've been reading what's going on, it's a pissy nut trial, as they would say. Yeah. Also, this is not a courtroom pod or show. This is a wrestling pod or show.
Yes.
But goddamn, like I need this right now. It just sounds like he's a crazy manipulating freak frog. And what's up with the racketeering and everything, So it's if anybody's like reading or keeping track of what's going on, it's very crazy. This is like, it's wild.
It's pretty wild. And
have my Coke Zero, homie.
Oh, homie. All right, kids.
People still say homie?
Do people still say homie? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't said it in a minute. Well,
damn,
I
homie.
get 30 seconds. Hey.
In high school, you was the man, homie. The fuck happened to you?
So, I don't know if we're going to talk about Beach Break at all.
Oh, you don't want to talk about that crazy ending that just happened?
It was fine. I actually had to walk the dog, so I got to walk back the cage match. But I did come in to see Gabe Kidd helping the Death Riders, which doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe, but also makes even less sense to me because I went to Resurgence. So why would Gabe Kidd help? Yeah, I went to Resurgence on Friday. It was a fantastic show. The last 3 matches were absolutely amazing. The women closed out the show. Unfortunately for some people, Mercedes lost her title. Was not pinned.
What?
She lost the New Japan Strong title. Yeah.
What? To who?
Azumi from Stardom.
So is this the precursor to Mercedes starting to lose her titles? Are we gonna see her lose against what Tony Storm? Classic Tony?
Oh, I don't know. I don't I don't think so.
I like with Kenny Omega when he had all the titles. I always said once you start losing one, you have to lose them all.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, she still has the Rev Pro, and then she has obviously the TBS championship. But
I mean, does Classic Tony become double champ?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we still got a little ways to go because we still have Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. Well, Jamie Hayter's not getting TV. Do you think? I mean,
well, I'm saying like maybe Jamie Hayter will win that. I don't think she's gonna win the Hart Invitational.
Right.
So it's just where we got a little time. We got a little time to see what happens with the TBS championship.
But yeah, Gabe watch any past shows. I love Jamie Hayter. Just
Jamie Hayter's great.
I was like, yeah.
No. We can all agree that Jamie Hayter is fantastic.
Yeah, just don't want people to be out here like, same him. Like,
no, Jamie Hayter is fantastic. Period.
Right.
End of story. Yeah, Gabe Kidd helping the Death Riders when he was handing Moxley the briefcase. He said, "This is yours. Nobody can take this away from you." And then he slid it into him. And I'm a little confused because, as I said, I was at Resurgence and we had original Bullet Club versus the War Dogs, the current Bullet Club, and really seemed like Gabe Kidd and the old guard were not getting along very well. So I'm just wondering what the puzzle pieces are, because I actually did not see credits roll on Dynamite tonight, so I don't know if something happened.
Well, the Young Bucks came out.
They did.
And extended their hand to Gabe and Mox and Cesaro.
Cesaro, yes.
So they extended their hand out and then turn around to find out that who music hits? Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega came and cleared out Cesaro, cleared out Where Yuta, and was going in for the Young Bucks. Now, was he going to join on the Young Bucks? Was he going to how was that going to work? Until Okada came out and turned him around and hit him in the gut.
Ooh, okay.
And he folded over. So you have Gabe standing next to the Death Riders, which I think it sounds like the Young Bucks called Gabe. And so this is the way of like, maybe, throwing out some maybes here. Maybe Young Bucks called Gabe, and maybe this is the way to get like the old guard of the Young Buck of the Bullet Club kind of ingratiated back into like, hey, we were the original Bullet Club. We co-signed this version of Bullet Club with Gabe, etc. Okay. And so they made the call to bring Gabe to help protect Mox, which most likely I would think Gabe would turn on Mox.
Yeah, I could. Gabe Kidd versus Moxley, that would be wild. I would be down for that. So I guess
they've been trying to court. Look, I think it was stupid that Samoa Joe didn't win. I think it was stupid. But I do think that right when it happened, I was like, "This is dumb. I want to turn this off. This is stupid. Like, I'm ready to start the show." And then the Young Bucks came out, and then I was like, okay, are the Young Bucks, did they hire Gabe? And then because they've been trying to court Mox for a while, Mox has been like, no. So if they're like, okay, fine, this is no, I'm gonna show you why you should have came with us and brought Gabe to beat them all out, to clear them out.
And then also I'm wondering, because last week when the Young Bucks went to go to their locker room, the Death Riders were in there, and Moxley said, "We need to talk."
Yeah.
So what is going on with that as well. So there's some interesting stuff, but yeah, I get it. Like I feel like Joe should be champion again. But again,
should be champion.
Again, he is technically a face, and that segues into, I think, the bigger conversation. When I messaged you this morning, I said, let's do the show. You were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was trying to think of a topic that would be fun to talk about. And I was thinking about Jey Uso. Now, Jey Uso has been champion for a little under a month. And according to Cage Match, in that time, he has had one match. He has had one match. It was the World Heavyweight Championship defense against Seth Rollins on, I believe that was last Monday.
Did you say a World Championship yeet fence?
Yes, I did.
Yeet.
Now, we're only a month in, and I was thinking, like, we have this face champion. He finally defeats Gunther. He not only defeats Gunther, he taps him out. And then we have, like, the celebration with friends. And then, I don't know, it seems like we're just kind of, he's just like, I'm here, I'm the champion, yeet. And it got me thinking, because Jay is over with the fans, you know, they love doing yeet, and they love doing all the other stuff that he does in his entrance. They're really putting the rocket on him. But I was thinking, Neesin, and maybe you could answer, because I'm trying to think of it myself. When was the last good babyface world champion run? Because I know a lot of people, and I'd love to hear what chat thinks about this too, because I know a lot of people were like, Cody won the belt. And then immediately everyone was like, ugh. Like they didn't care.
You know, it's an interesting question when you pose this, because at first I was like, duh, Cody. And then I thought, well, I thought what you just said, like everybody's like, oh, Cody had a bad run, but did he? Like, did he?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but like I
don't
feel like people got tired of it.
See, and that's my thing. I don't think, you know, people will probably point to Daniel Bryan, but remember, Daniel Bryan won a title, got injured, and was out. I think people don't get or don't remember whenever a good guy babyface wins the title, and now they're a special attraction. They're not supposed to wrestle on Monday. They're not supposed to wrestle every single night, two times. Like they're not supposed to do that. They're now the main event. So wrestling, once a month is wrestling at a pay-per-view. Like he's wrestling against Logan Paul at main event, which is technically not a PLE, but it is a special event. They're already ramping back. They're already ramping up his challengers after that, right? From Braun Breaker to Seth Rollins, etc. He had the Seth Rollins people. I don't know what people want from a babyface. Do they want them to defend a title every show, or do they want them to defend a title on the PLEs, which as they should? So one title for one defense under a month for a world championship, which he's going to defend it next weekend at the at Saturday night main event. I don't see that being an issue. And I think it starts off hot because he has the top star Seth Rollins coming down his neck. He has Braun Breaker waiting around the corner, which everybody projects Braun Breaker to be the next guy. And then you have Logan Paul, which to his credit could make or break Jay as far as like social views and everything else. So Jay also has a Minute Maid bottle with his face on it coming out this summer. Like, so it's I don't see, if we're talking specifically about Jay, I don't see him having a bad start to a babyface. If anything, I see it They toned him down with colors. They've allowed him to be comfortable with himself being on the microphone, which allows him to really, we got the 4 letters, 1 word, eat. Like he's getting his catchphrase in. I think, and I think they're putting him in front of people that actually matter.
Yes.
Like it does, NA has Gunther saying that he wants him on the Monday after the Saturday night main event. So he said, whoever's wins Monday, they have to face me. So they're doing the right things of putting challenger after challenger after challenger in front of them, in front of Jay, which as baby faces should. Like, yes, you have people, you have bad guys chasing you, and you can't run. You have to step up to every single challenge. And I think the last babyface champion to do that, honestly, was Cody Rhodes. I think you had, from the storylines of the Kevin Owens and him being a friend and then turning against them because of the teaming up with Roman at Survivor Series, between having a face solo, between having, people say it was Roman's leftovers in a sense, but he was on a different brand, building that brand up. So I don't, I get it. Like, people have their reservations with Cody, but I see the other side. I definitely see the other side. So I say Cody is the last one. And other than that, I think you would probably have to go to the women's side. You'll probably have to go with
Becky?
Io Sky. You will have to go with Bianca Belair. You will have to go with, Rhea Ripley was technically a heel during her championship run.
Yeah. That's the other tricky thing, is it's like, because it's like most of the people you think of, you're like, oh wait, no, they were a heel.
Yeah.
Like, at least when I'm thinking of what's the last great babyface run, I would agree, Cody. It did maybe get a little tired, but we needed somebody to carry the company after, give Roman his break for the first time. Well, a long break for the first time in a while.
Right. I think, and now look, 3 years, Cody ran hot. I think people don't. I was watching the Jay and Sammy rewatch Backlash Puerto Rico match, the tag team, the triple threat match, and I watched that. And Sammy was like, "Yeah, man, we were running hot. Like, we're running, every show we were on, and town after town." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like, the minute Cody Rhodes came in Dallas, it was 1,000% on. Like, everyone was, you had the bloodline story really popping off, but then you had Cody and Seth Rollins, but they were running pretty hot every single show, every single night. They were still doing house shows. So to have Cody get his time off, like, well deserved, I think that is well deserved. I think having now Seth Rollins, like, he doesn't really have to wrestle like that anymore. Like, he could just take the time, cut his promos, do his thing, and build up into a big match.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. And I'm just like, why do I have it in my head, at least right now, that a heel, for the most part, feels like every time I think of a title run that I really like, it's like a heel. Like, obviously Roman, heel. MJF, heel. Even and that was another point that I also was trying to figure out in my head, was we were also hyped on Hangman winning the championship. And then it kind of felt like after that happened, it was just kind of like, eh. So I think another like question that I was thinking about today is what in your mind, like, after the chase is over, and you kind of alluded to it earlier, like, what do people want in a babyface? Do they want him to defend the title every week? Do they want him to defend it multiple times a week? What, in your opinion, makes a good babyface champion?
To me, it's being able to show the same thing you showed in the chase, and to keep and to be able to keep that while you still have it and being chased. And
Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with the follow-up, and like, meaning, who do you put in front of them, right? So what used to piss me off is they'll win whoever good WWE, somebody the good guy win a title, and then they have to face Kane.
Dude, that
Like,
was another example I thought of.
Piss me off because it's
Daniel
like,
Bryan.
yeah, we know Kane isn't gonna lose. Like, here's the tricky part, right? You can't put, like, I think Logan Paul and Jey Uso is perfect because you can't put any heel against your newly crowned babyface that the crowd deeply wants to really root for, right? So, but they have to be formidable enough to be like, oh, they could actually give this like, this could actually happen, like they could shake it up here, like this could be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Kane was never that guy,
Right.
like, so it was never the thing of like, damn, Kane could really be world champion right now. It was just like, okay, this is the buy time until we get to SummerSlam, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
So for what I would want to see is the storyline, exactly what they're doing with Jay right now. I think this is like the perfect layout. You have Gunther, which is a formidable champion, right? He wants another crack at it. You have Seth Rollins, which, Hall of Fame bound.
Oh, yeah.
You have Braun Breaker, which is like former two-time Intercontinental champion, former
NXT.
I don't think he was NXT. Yeah, was he NXT champ? Yeah, former NXT champion. And he's right-hand man now to Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman. Like, yeah, that could happen. And then you have Logan Paul, which is like, look, to his credit, the man has stepped up at every single time and knows how to get reactions. Like, he knows how to actually be a bad guy. So therefore, why not this is how you set up your baby face. He has to go through these people, and this is not to mention, anyone else that is lining up that's on the other side, right? That when they do the draft, that's what it'll be.
Yeah. And and when you lay it out like that, I think Jay's path going forward, that's like 4 formidable people that could be champion.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe aren't necessarily going to be champion during this little run for Jay, which I think will really build him up as, like, if we really want, like, he is main event Jey Uso, but if you really want him to be main event Jey Uso, he's got to run through these guys.
Yeah, I think, he definitely, if Monday night Karrion Kross would have approached Jay, then I'm like, all right, what the fuck? Like, I get Karrion, man. I understand, like, he had a moment, but why are we know he's not going to win the world title, like, right now, so let's not even play that game. That now we just know we're buying time. Right? Like, what they're doing is perfect. I think they should also add in Kofi Kingston in that mix, just as having history with someone for so long in a tag team, but also, and then also a former world champion. So I think being able to add that in there will give it a little extra, like, like, then that way you technically have like 5 people that could extend his title reign right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is, I guess, a champion's only as good if they're a heel or a babyface as their competition.
That's it.
And I think that's 4 to 5 people that, and you're right, every time Kane would come out and be like, you would get deflated. It'd be like, oh my God, really?
And it never failed. Like, Red Mask Kane to corporate Kane, it was always Kane. every single time, and that just showed like who else are they gonna run? Like how are they gonna hold make this title interesting? It's because they don't really, when they have good heels, for whatever reason, they let them get liked by the crowd. And now the crowd is behind them, and now the crowd secretly wants them to win a title, or secretly wants to give them a shot. And so you put that up against your newly crowned babyface, then what happens? They're gonna go with well, we really, I mean, you were yesterday's like toy. We want the new toy, like, you know. So that's how I think the last one, man, I think it was Cody. After that, it's hard because there was no real solid baby faces like that. I mean, Seth Rollins tried it, right? I think Finn Balor would have been it. I think honestly, if we were talking about I think Finn Balor
would have been
a really great white meat baby face if his shoulder didn't give out on him. I think and they had enough people set up for him to run at that time.
Oh my god!
During that
stage. I mean, you had half of the roster he fought on NXT up in, and those all would have been great. Yeah,
Sammy Samoa, AJ. He had Sammy Samoa, AJ, Rollins. I mean Roman.
Was Mox around at the time?
Fire matches with Roman. Mox was around. I think he was out, maybe, but he was still signed.
Was around.
That's what it says. Joe, like he had contenders. Contender, and then Brock. I mean, he had Brock. Like it was one of those things where Finn versus Brock. You know, like this is back when Brock was ultimate, bad guy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I and that credible, like, okay, yeah, he could turn up. Brock shows up, he could win at any moment.
Yeah, that is very true. I wanna go back to Backlash.
Oh yeah.
Because
Pat McAfee almost ordered his top card.
What's that?
Almost ordered Pat McAfee's top card.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute, but you mentioned like somebody popping up and just becoming a champion. We had somebody pop up in the Fatal 4-Way match for the United States Championship, and I want to get your take on this. Because I think I had said that maybe Jeff Cobb would have been the opponent of Randy Orton at Mania.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I was one pay-per-view off on that debut, or one PLE off on that one. So he is seemingly aligned with the new Bloodline, or I don't know if they can actually call themselves.
I don't think they're the Bloodline anymore.
So,
but yes, he's now Solo's enforcer.
Yes, so he is aligned with Solo and Jacob. And I assume are both Tonga and Tama hurt?
I think so.
Yeesh.
I think both of them are hurt. Yeah.
So I wanted to get your take on this because there does seem to be a little bit of Solo it looks like he's trying to find someone to protect him when he finally pisses Jacob off enough.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, I think that's where we're going.
And we might not call them the Bloodline, but it is a continuation, a little side quest of the Bloodline. I just wanted to see how you're feeling about Solo and Jacob with the addition of Jeff Cobb. How do you think that dynamic is going to play out?
Jeff Cobb is a beast. I think. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm very interested, and because watching that match back, that 3-on-3 match at Backlash Puerto Rico, you saw Solo, and it was a completely different Solo. And you see this Solo now, and it's like I feel like he stopped trying to be Roman, and now he's being his own Solo.
Yes.
So I think now you're starting to have his own faction could really come into play, and Fatu could really stand out on his own. So I'm very interested to see how they do that. So and look, man, Fatu got it all. Like he doesn't need to be around. He doesn't need anybody.
No.
So I love the fact that now, Solo does have someone that could basically be a buffer. And like you said, they could jump him, whatever the case may be. And it could be, a separation into the tongue, into Tama and forgot to say that. What's the Tonga? Yeah, Tama and Tama comes back.
Tama Tonga and Tongaloa.
Yeah, Tama Tonga.
I get it. It's confusing.
It's tongue twister there. But yeah, I'm for it. I kind of jumped up. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, that was one hell of a fatal 4-way. That was that was one hell of a PLE, to be honest. Like that women's match,
it was fun. 5 matches. It was fun.
It felt like a old school PLE.
Yeah.
Like it felt like one of those, like I'm in and out, like, cool matches. The world title wasn't on the line, like the what was it? Who was the main event?
It was Cena and Orton. You mean
Cena
like
Orton? I'm sorry. Yeah, the world heavyweight title
wasn't on the line. Yeah.
Title was on the line. Yeah. So which I honestly loved that match. People don't like it. I don't know why. I loved that match. I truly, it felt like an old school Randy Orton John Cena match. And by the end, where Randy Orton was RKOing every single body,
dude,
Cena kept kicking out. Like it was Superman Cena, but as a heel, it was, man, it gave me all the feels back. It was like, yeah, this is only thing about it is Randy Orton's like 100 pounds heavier of muscle.
Yeah,
this is 09. This is 09. This is 09 Randy right here. Like, love it. Love it.
I also loved on commentary during that match when they were like, yeah, Cena has 17, but Randy looks like he could go for another 10 years. So it's like he could tie/break that record.
Yeah, he needs another piece. I think now he's playing the hits, like as far as just coming out, sing my song, like something needs to change. And I kind of thought about, so I think on Friday, that was what is the name? It's not Evan Bourne, Miles Bourne. So that looked just when the guy, I don't know if you've seen it, but on Friday when he came out and it was a fake Randy Orton, like he did like the and went for the RKO, and John Cena.
No, that was Sean Spears.
Was it Sean Spears?
Yeah, somebody matched the tattoos up.
Okay, so I was like, the tattoos also look like Miles Bourne, and I'm like, and Miles Bourne been doing the whole Randy Orton. Now, I don't know if you seen NXT yesterday, but he was basically dressed like Randy Orton. Like he has like the tights, he has the burgundy.
He won the battle
like,
royal, right?
Yeah, I think it's him versus it's the three of them. Miles Bourne. Yeah, I don't.
It's the no catch crew,
right?
Yeah,
yes. He's facing the world championship. He's facing Obafemi at Battleground.
Love it.
Yeah. But he looks like he's Randy Orton's son. Like that is Randy Orton's son.
I love it.
And so that's what I thought of it, because it looked like his tattoo on his arm. So I was like, oh, that must be but I want to see maybe Randy Orton needs another legacy, or he needs another evolution. Like that's where I was going with it. Like give him another faction, and
all right,
and maybe you give him another faction, and you have him. That's how you have him go against Cody.
So, but I
Cody
think it would
comes
be
back.
more insulting if it was Legacy.
Oh, for sure.
It would be
For
more
sure.
insulting towards Cody. So, okay, let's
my new
spitball
legacy.
this. Let's spitball this. In this, it could be Evolution or it could be Legacy, but if he's going up against Cody, it would be more of a spit in the face to be Legacy. Who would you put in Randy Orton's new Legacy? Well, hold on, let me rephrase it, because Legacy technically was they were all second, third, or fourth generations.
Right.
So I guess I will rephrase the question and say, who would you put in Randy Orton's new Evolution?
Well, I think you have to go Carmelo Hayes. I think, honestly, you go Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Miles Bourne.
Wow. I mean, I think Trick's ready.
Trick has been ready. I think they should have never, I was pissed off watching NXT yesterday, and I was just like, they should have never broke up Trick and Melo. Like, even if they had their match, like, they should have shook hands and they should have came up to the main roster together. I think what they're doing with Melo on the main roster and having him basically be Ricochet's replacement is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Hanging out with the Miz, right?
Bro. Like, we love the Miz, but come on.
We love the Miz, but yeah.
Yeah, like, I think they would have got more run, and plus it would have added in a real ejection into the tag team division, which they're trying with Fraxium. But I think if you have these stars that could be solo stars, but that are a tag team and that can run as a tag team, Trick and Mellow Gang, I think that's how you interject some energy into it.
That would be so interesting, especially with Randy helming that and being like,
man,
you guys were unstoppable in NXT together.
Remember FTR and Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Or the Revival, rather, Randy Orton?
Yeah.
The Revive RKO?
Yes. That would be interesting. Mello and Trick.
So I think Mello, Trick, and Miles Bourne. I think you have someone that's, deaf and also pay homage, and he could be like the little brother to Randy, and the other two he could be mentors to. And I think you could play a lot on that. I would honestly add a girl in there as well, and I would want to add either like Fallon Henley or you add Kylie Armstrong.
Honestly, Randy just showing up one week in NXT and just going up to Trick and being like, "We need to talk."
Yeah, man.
That's
Hollywood
all you need
Trick.
to do.
And that's this thing right now is like Hollywood Trick, and he's on his heel shit. I'm like, yo, like, go recruit. Randy.
Wow.
Go recruit.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's my dream faction right now. And I mean, and maybe Rollins pulls Trick up to as the third person,
Yeah, like, that was the other question that I had, because it kind of seems like we're just doing Heyman, Breaker, and Rollins right now. That's just kind of what it seems like, and it feels like, and I think we talked about this not on the show. I think we talked about it. I don't know. I know we mentioned it. I'm like, if Seth is doing what he wants to be doing, and he's already pissed off, there's already 3 people pissed off at him. So he's going to need some more reinforcements. So I guess, would you rather see Trick in Rollins' faction, or would you rather see him in Orton's faction? What's the better fit?
If Mello is not going to be in Rollins faction with them, in Orton's faction with them, I'd rather see Trick in Rollins faction.
That would be awesome.
and keep them. If you either keep them separated or you put them together, I think you get more mileage out of them together, and that means Randy could be a play mediator and be like, and just, hey, like, you guys, like, get it, like, this is, this is better, beneficial, blah blah blah. I got you guys here for a reason. You guys are better together than apart. Or you have Rollins like tell him like, yeah, I'm Hollywood Trick. He's like, yeah, look, you're Hollywood Trick, but I'm about to show you how to be main event Trick or whatever that is, something in that vein. So yeah, I think both of those right there.
Honestly, I'm down with a new evolution. I think that would be amazing. And who knows? When is the draft? Do we know? I always feel like they're just like, surprise, it's the draft.
Yeah, so no, we don't know. I think they're gonna do the draft at some point in the summer. I think either, I'm assuming they'll probably do it. If they don't do it right before SummerSlam, it'll probably be like right at the end of summer.
Let's see. There's Alvarez said the draft is very likely to be happening at the end of May.
Okay, so before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which, well, that's in a couple of weeks, so I doubt it's going to be the end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backlash. What'd you think of the Gunther Pat McAfee match?
I loved it, man.
I thought it was
great. He got his ass beat. You can tell. He did. But for the crowd to be look, I think it's dope when you can feel the crowd behind somebody, and especially McAfee gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
So I didn't think the crowd would be behind him that much. And they were like, they're following with it, and that's credit to Gunther, and that's credit to Pat. Like they really did a dope job, man. I loved it. What did you think?
I liked it as well. I thought Michael Cole getting involved was fun too.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Honestly, I was almost waiting for Wade Barrett to be like, okay, and stand up for his.
Yeah,
I was kind of waiting for it.
I thought Wade was going to, but I think maybe he's done.
Yeah, I mean, at least even him standing up as a distraction, I think would have been not like, hey, look at me, like standing up, taking off the cans there, and Gunther being like, what are you doing?
Right.
I think the crowd would have went crazy for that.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, Pat did great. I thought it was, and I do like the both of them standing in the ring at the end, and Gunther being like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, cool. See you later.
He said, Pat on the show said that he was like, Gunther told the referee to tell him to stand in the middle of the ring. And so he didn't know what he was doing. So he stood there. He's like, I didn't know what he was about to do. And then he did gave a salute and gave him the ring. And basically was like, hey man, you brought it,
that's cool.
Kudos.
He said that on Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, he said that on the Pat McAfee show.
Great.
So it was like, that's dope.
I've met Gunther once at PWG, and he was a very gracious person. He was very, very cool. So that's great. That's great to hear. And he popped a blood vessel in his eye.
Yeah.
Dude, his eye looked messed up.
Yeah, he was fucked. He popped blood vessel. He had bruise. Today he was like, I found a new bruise this morning. It's like purple, just like all on his bicep.
Crazy.
Yeah, he got his ass beat, and that's dope though. I think, and also I just think it's a great lesson. I think it's one of those old school great lessons of ride for the people that ride for you. We're kind of low key teaching these kids. Same thing with Thunderbolts. I think it was the reason why I really love Thunderbolts is because when I was growing up, they didn't make Iron Man wasn't when I was a kid, but they didn't make shows about. They didn't make movies about depression. They didn't make superhero movies about battling depression and having your loved ones be open enough to allow them to pull you out of the darkness. Like they didn't do that. And so like I was like, this is incredible that they're able to now make this film with this tonality and these messages that's heavy enough to where kids could feel seen. Because if I was 13 and I seen that, I would have felt seen in this film, right? Instead, they made things to inspire fantasy and to be. But so that's what walking away from that with Pat McAfee, that whole match and storyline, I thought it was a great story and great way to kind of low key tell kids, like, look, people, you stand up for your loved ones, you stand up for your people, no matter what. Like, even if you get your ass beat, at the end of the day, you stood up, you stood on your own, and you understand that you did the right thing. So I loved it.
No, yeah, I mean, absolutely. In Thunderbolts, that's the message. And Pat's, when he said, "I want to fight him," the speech when he stood up on the table, that was a great, like, ride or die with your friends and your family. Great. Great message. Love it. Honestly, I think we could just head out on that because that's pretty great. Well, actually, did you watch Doctor Who yet?
No, I am behind. This is the first time I'm behind on Doctor Who. I'm behind. I still need to watch the last episodes of Andor. I still need to watch Last of Us. I haven't watched anything since the episode after the big episode. So
well, I mean, if you needed to take a break after that episode, I completely understand.
So it's just been like, only thing honestly I've watched is wrestling. And that's it. That's because basketball is not on anymore. I don't know when that starts again. So
I'm pretty sure that's not on.
Yeah, it's not on. It's not on.
Oh boy.
But I will. Right. I will. It's literally on my. It's downloaded on my phone on Disney Plus. Like, that's how much I plan to watch it. It's just. Then I'm going to EDC this weekend. So like. It's.
Are you going?
Things are crazy.
Or for business? Both.
It's both. So it's meetings with the EDC people that's like, hey, well, here's some free tickets. So it's like staying at the Palms and going to EDC this weekend. So it's
were you surprised I knew what EDC was?
No, absolutely not. I feel like everybody knows what EDC was.
I've never been, but I know people.
I've never been. Yeah. I am worried about what to wear. I just ordered a bunch of stuff. Now we're just talking. Ordered a bunch of stuff off of Amazon. Like, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I don't know what to wear to these things. I've never been to an official rave like this. I didn't know it was from 8 at night to 9 in the morning. Do you know how late that shit is? Like, so late, I'm thinking it's during the day and it goes to like 2 or 3 or something and then crawl back home. No, this is why people do coke. This is why, because there is no way I am going to be able to stay up after the fuck shit travel I've just had, go to EDC from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. 9 to sun come up in Vegas. It is no way. No way without the addition, a help of Ritalin or Coke or some other drug that I don't want to promote. But I see why people do this. I see it.
I have no idea. Like, I've been thinking about, and obviously we're just talking now and you guys can just listen, so it's fine. I was reminiscing about when I used to go to Ozfest and I'd have to wake up at 6:50 to see the first band at 9 a.m. and then I wouldn't get home till like 11:30. And I was like, if that was me now, I'd be like, I'm just not going.
But see, I could do that. Like,
I could do it if I really put my mind to it, but
right. but like 8 p.m. Like, but I was like, oh, what time we gotta get there? He's like, oh, I usually get there at 8, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, and then and I said, what time do we get back? He was like, oh, like 9. I'm like, oh, wow. So what time do we get there? He's like, oh, 8, and I'm like, oh, what? Wait, you mean 8 in the morning, right? We get at 9 p.m. He's like, no, 8 at night. We get back at 9 in the morning. Like, that's what time we usually catch the shuttle to get back to the hotel. And I'm like,
yikes.
Wait, we gotta catch a fucking shuttle? Like,
Yeah,
that's even
shuttle.
more additive. Like, all right,
Yeah.
look, you probably gonna get like 5 hours out of me.
Yeah,
five
right?
good solid. We're gonna go do a meeting, do tours. We have a nice little VIP. If the VIP section is too nice, I'm gonna go to sleep in that bitch. You're gonna find me taking a nap on the couch.
Yeah.
Like midnight. It's like, where's Neesin at? I'm just there.
Love it.
With some glow sticks around my neck.
Just so they can locate you. Yeah.
Just so they can locate. Just glow. I'm gonna have a just wrist full of glow sticks and neck. I'm gonna have a whole neck just
there you go.
Glow sticked up and just be knocked the fuck out somewhere. Just look for the glowing black guy somewhere. He's asleep.
Well, if they can't find you glowing at EDC, where can the people find you on the internet, Neesin?
You can find me at Stay Fly Life on the lines. But find me at EDC Sleep. That's where you need to find me at. Find me at
EDC.
If anyone finds me at EDC over the weekend, I will buy you a drink.
There you go.
That is my word. If you can find me at EDC this weekend, I will buy you a drink. Oh,
love it.
Home with me.
Oh man, what a life!
Where they find you at? Pingel.
You can find me at JP Thrice on most social media things. If you're on Blue Sky, it's jp3.notlg.com. I just bought the remastered edition of the PS4 Spider-Man game, which I've never played, and I think I'm going to start streaming that soon.
Ooh.
And then after that, I'll play Miles Morales, and then after that, I'll play Spider-Man 2. So there's the theme. Yeah, I finished Last of Us 2, and I'm looking for my newest story game, and I figured I would just swing around New York City.
You should. That's all of those games are my shit.
Oh, I've never played them, so I'm excited. Yeah.
I don't have Xbox, but the game, it's some game on Xbox that everybody keeps talking about, but it's Shadow. I don't know. I figured it out, but I've also started playing or Survivor, Jedi Survivor.
Oh, you got to let me know how that is. The game I've been hearing everybody talk about is Expedition 33.
No, I never heard of that one.
It's some RPG game. I don't know. All right, folks. Well, we could talk and talk about everything that is not pro wrestling, but this is a pro wrestling show, so we will just end it. End it there. We've gone over our time. It's time to go home, as they say. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We will talk to you guys next week. Make sure you head on over to thathashtagshow.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys real soon.
See you in Orlando, because Formula Drift will be in Orlando. Yes, Sabu. To the Sabu.